My name is Katherine Milligan. I'm the director of the Schwab Foundation for Social Entrepreneurship, based in Geneva, Switzerland, which is the sister organization of the World Economic Forum. If social entrepreneurship is really all about leaders of organizations, be they nonprofit or for-profit, that are using business tools and market forces to solve social and environmental problems. Social innovation is really a much broader conversation, right? That's more about the methodology, about the approaches. It doesn't really matter what kind of actor you are, where you're coming from, which stakeholder group you're in. You might be in a corporation pioneering social innovation. You might be in a foundation or other sort of capital provider. Or, of course, you might be an entrepreneur who is creating your own organization. But it's really about creating new paradigms, new ways of solving old social problems. So the Schwab Foundation community of social entrepreneurs is a global network of 300 organizations with operations in 60 countries. Our 2014 awardees alone collectively reach 41 million people. In France, I'm delighted to report over a dozen members of our network either have headquarters or have operations here, including our 2014 winners, Ciel Bleu, which works with 74,000 elderly people across 4 countries in Europe, keeping them psychologically and physically healthier as they age. Another one of our 2014 awardees, Emmaus Défi, offers flexible employment opportunities to people working in emergency housing situations. So, we're really seeing an explosion of interesting hybrid models both here in France and elsewhere. To give a more global perspective, Friends International, based in Cambodia with operations in 8 countries throughout Asia, works with homeless children, street children, very vulnerable children, victims of abuse, trafficking, and they offer a range of services, counseling services, but also reintegrate them back into schools or provide vocational training with the younger ones. So we're seeing a lot of models like that that are very creative, that are combining for-profit and nonprofit activities, that have hybrid operating structures. And that, I think, is very powerful to get these models to scale. In the Friends International case, of course, all the counseling and other services they provide to the youth don't generate revenue, but they have turned the vocational operations and trainings into social businesses that now provide about 40% of the organization's operational revenue. So, this helps them scale faster. It helps donor dollars go further, and it also helps them take those revenues from the for-profit side, from the vocational training, and invest them back into the counseling so that they can reach more people. So these are really these very creative structures, workaround structures that we're seeing both in Europe and elsewhere that we're very excited about. Just earlier today we heard the minister announce a government social innovation fund. I think governments are really becoming more interested in this and marshaling the resources to build the market, to make social investments in social enterprises. We're seeing the private sector, corporations bring not just money to the table, but other resources as well, and that's really critical. Logistics expertise, human talent, their distribution systems, value chains. I mean, they've got so many resources, strategic resources that can really help scale these models. Of course, we're also seeing the rise of impact investing, of venture philanthropy, of traditional donors who are rethinking their philanthropic models. So, this is a very exciting time for social entrepreneurship. About 1/3 of the organizations in our network are for-profit. About 2/3 are nonprofit. And what we're really seeing there, though, is even in some of the for-profits, they generate revenue, right? They're selling a social good or a service, but donors are excited about them because of the social impact they're creating. So just because you're a for-profit doesn't mean that you can't also take advantage of donor dollars, right? Of philanthropic capital. Of the nonprofits in the network, we're seeing that they might earn some percentage of revenue, right, through selling products or services, or through having a hybrid structure like what I talked about earlier. But donors, increasingly impact investors, are becoming really excited about those models because they see them as a way to crowd in, to make their donor dollars go further and to crowd in other sources of capital, and investor capital, to name an example. So it's an exciting space. There's a lot happening here, both in terms of the entrepreneurs that are pioneering the models to solve some of these social and environmental challenges and really bring them to scale, and in terms of that whole ecosystem around them, right? All the supportive services, the technology and assistance providers, the intermediaries, the capital providers, and sort of key partners, right, among government and corporations.